You know what's fun about success is when you can bring people along with you.
Mm.
When you can share the success with other people, um, when you can see other people kind of get a chance to taste the success or be happy or just find a little bit of friendship or companionship or whatever it is, it means a lot more. The journey means a lot more when it's with people that you care about and people that you want to see succeed.
Today we're at the home of NBA champion Jrue Holiday in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Two brothers in the NBA, his wife Lauren, a pro soccer player and two-time league MVP. It's a competitive family, but also a family built on core values. He talks about those values being more than just beliefs. They require action and sometimes sacrifice. Jrue talks about the satisfaction of being a champion and the cost, the loneliness of the grind. Lastly, Jrue goes deep and talks about his superpower, putting himself second, his focus on others, and his ability to forge strong relationship and build culture. So let's get into it.
So we're in Milwaukee with Jrue Holiday. Thank you for having us to your home.
Yeah, no problem. Y'all came at a good time. You know, the weather's been really nice.
It's amazing.
Yeah, a couple more weeks it might have been really, really cold. So, yeah.
We just saw you get after it in your at-home gym and
Yeah.
ball court. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
to
it was
watch.
fun. It was fun. Had a good time with DJ, making me sweat a little bit, making me work, but all work is good work. So,
That's right.
yeah.
You know, you've been in the league 14 years, and then you
Yeah.
throw high school and college on there. And
Yeah.
When did you start playing basketball?
I don't know. I guess I picked up a ball at 2. I'm probably around my son's age.
Your
Yeah.
whole life.
Yeah.
So this idea of training, it's probably evolved quite a bit over the years.
Yeah, for sure.
Tell me about that journey.
Yeah, it's actually a great question. I would say, younger, you aren't as specific in training, I grew up playing every sport. If it was organized or not, you play outside with your friends and do whatever. That was a form of training now that you think about it. But there's like no movement training or somebody directly telling you to move like this when you're younger. And then, you get a little bit older, we're taking it a little bit more seriously, and you have conditioning, and you do squats, you do little things here and there. Then you start getting to high school and college, and that's really where like the lifting and workouts really start. And again, even playing multiple sports in high school, at some point I had to choose what I wanted to do. And that's where I think training became a little bit more sport specific. And then from there, even there, getting to the NBA, been here 14 years. I told you earlier that when I first got to the NBA, like people didn't like to lift weights. People didn't like to throw weights around, get in the weight room like that. It was just more so, let me get a little band work or warm up here or do whatever, some stretching, and then let me go and hoop. But I think for longevity, just for me mentally, I feel like I'm a better person when I work out. It's definitely been a transition. And then you get into even just the more specifics, if it's ISOs, if it's plyometrics, whatever it is, you start to find interest in it and what works for your body, what you like to do. So yeah, that journey's been just not even basketball, just the training journey has been really fun.
At your level, you're doing a little bit of everything, right? You got cardio, you got heavy weights, you got plyo,
Mm-hmm.
yoga, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite way to train?
I wouldn't say I have a favorite. I'd like to keep it different and keep it fresh. I think sometimes you can get stuck in one type of workout and it gets boring. You can be ever evolving. Did a lot of boxing this off season. A lot of Pilates, which is super hard, especially in terms of just doing body weight stuff. Pilates is so difficult, and I feel like growing up, you always thought Pilates and even a little bit of yoga were like for women, But it's definitely not. They're some of the strongest people. So to be able to kind of throw that in the repertoire was cool. I also grew up playing football and baseball. My wife plays soccer. I try to get her to do some drills out here with me. Just soccer, kicking the ball around, little movement stuff. She does it sometimes. A lot of the time, she just tell me no. But again, I think it's good to keep it fresh, and then a lot of other sports translates into playing basketball. So to be able to kind of throw in something from soccer, throw in something from football, a little bit of boxing with the shoulder work and the core and the conditioning, it all works for my sport. So it's fun to do.
So many people talk about this idea of dynamic, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
always wanting to do something new or differently
Yeah,
versus static.
yeah.
Whereas I just stay the same. I've been doing
Yeah.
the same workout for 10 years. Good
Yeah.
luck.
I mean, there's some people who are good with the same workout for 10 years, you know?
Yeah.
They like how it makes them feel, and it hits the spots that they want to hit. But I feel like for me personally, I like to grow in different ways and try new things that I've never done, things that I didn't think that I would ever like. Yeah, it keeps it fun. And then I feel like you meet so many different people in different circles, just building relationships with people through sports, because I've done it my whole life, but different activities, again, like yoga or Pilates, again, pickleball, like whatever it may be. So
How's your pickleball game?
I'm not that good. I'm not that good. It looks easier than what it is, but I think I've only played twice.
You play with Lauren or against Lauren?
We were kind of like training. We had somebody who's really good, and they were just kind of showing us the ropes and doing whatever. But if I had to play, I'd have to play with her. I couldn't play against her, and it wouldn't be because of me. It'd be because of her. She's the sore winner and sore loser. So
I love it.
yeah,
But you've been married, what, 15 years?
10 years.
It's working.
10 years. Yeah, it's working. We found our way. We've got over arguments, or we've got into arguments over Phase 10, Uno, Spades. In Spades, we're on the same team, and it still ended up being my fault. But not saying any, but some people called somebody a cheater. Yeah, man, words have been exchanged. So we've definitely learned to kind of do this life as a partner thing, and it's been working out.
But that's a challenge, right? Because two high-level competitors get married.
Yeah.
And so you tend to compete on everything.
Yeah.
But as you know, 10 years of marriage,
Yeah.
a lot of marriage is about being on the same page.
Yeah. Compromise.
What is the thing that you're most aligned with? You
Uh,
and Lauren?
You know what? There actually are a couple things. One thing, just to start off, is our career. We wanted to be the best in our career. We wanted to win and be the best player that we could. Lauren's a couple years older than me, so even with her success in her career, it came before mine. I actually got to go through it with her. I got to see it. I got to go through her process and her journey. And watching her help me with mine, being able to get over humps, over obstacles of being injured or maybe not playing the best that I want to play. Or even just like from team to team, maybe not being with the best team possible for me to try to win. What's the right decision? Stay loyal or whatever it may be. And then next to that is faith. Like my wife has always been faithful. She's always been very driven and determined. And that's something that I took from her too, is just being able to stick with it and stay with my faith and what I believe in. And those are kind of, I mean, my faith is one of my pillars, right?
Sure.
Like something that it's integrity. It's something that I really live my life by. So I've done my best to kind of stick with that and stay faithful and really be able to just enjoy the process, the good and the bad, because, I mean, joy comes in the morning, right?
Yeah, having that shared foundation, I've got to imagine, makes a relationship so much better. Because that foundation never going to change.
Yeah. Having the same foundation is definitely key. I do think being able to have two competitors, be competitive, but at the same time want the best for that person, want the best for the other person. So I've never been jealous of Lauren's career, and I've never wanted her career. I've always wanted to see her be the best in the world. I've always wanted to see her win. And not because like I'm there with her and I can do whatever, but it's because I know that makes her happy. Like I know what she's put in, like the blood, sweat, and tears to go into what she does. So that's something that I've always loved. And then she's just supported me on my journey doing the same thing.
Yeah, what a gift, because it's not often that you have two pro athletes sharing life together.
Yeah,
And not only that, you got two brothers. I mean, your
Yeah.
whole family
yeah,
is living this life that very few people have ever lived.
yeah, yeah. It's people ask me all the time, like, is it weird having two brothers in the NBA? And honestly, it was no. Uh, we were all raised very much the same. Very faith-based, always in the church, always trying to stay out of trouble, but just really had the covering of Jesus Christ to kind of block out the wicked and the evil and really just being on our side. But when it comes to basketball, we've always put in the work, and we've always done it together as a family. So I think being able to share that at a young age and then throughout like the rest of my career, because again, me and my older brother are 14 months apart, and my younger brother is 6 years from me. So he had such a big gap to watch us kind of grow and play and do all that, and maybe even see the work ethic that we had, and maybe he grabbed some of that and did it too. So I think the formula was there, and then once I made it and then my brother made it, it was just kind of like you knew what you were getting when it came to the holidays. You were getting people who were hard workers, who were serious about their sport and their profession. A lot of people say that we're good people, so I'm guessing that we are, but very straightforward people, and you know what you're going to get for us. No BS, and again, a lot of faith. We don't try to throw it on anybody or make anybody feel uncomfortable, but it's definitely something that we know in our family that this is something that was important for us and the reason why we made it to this point in our careers.
Yeah, I'm thinking about your brother, and he got the benefit of this certain type of behavior being modeled by his brothers, just like you got the benefit of a certain type of faith being modeled by your parents.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Having things modeled for you, much more powerful than words.
Actions. Actions are up there with words. Obviously, you know what I mean, what you hear and what you say goes into your heart and can come out. So it's the same thing with vision. What you see and how you see people act can go into your heart. You could start thinking that that's right or wrong, and it kind of goes from there. But I think for us, man, it was a lot of action, a lot of being able to put your money where your mouth is. And even sticking with that, it was always, you saw the benefit of it. Like sometimes you might not have seen it at that time because everybody goes through struggles or different seasons in their life. But I think at the end of it, you always saw the benefit.
So you got the two brothers at home for Christmas. You got Lauren at the table.
Mm-hmm.
Is it even possible to get through a game of Uno?
Oh yeah. It's people don't really know that like I have a little sister, and my little sister is 3 years younger than me. Probably the best athlete in my family. Ran track, played volleyball, played softball, went to UCLA to play basketball. Like when we grew up, played soccer. She would play baseball and stuff with us, but she played basketball against her 3 brothers growing up. She used to beat up on Aaron all the time until obviously he got bigger and did whatever. She's the most competitive out of all of us. It's probably her and my wife. Like, I think the boys can kind of be like, all right, it's not that serious. Like, if I lose to my wife, I know I still have to sleep with her at night. I know that I still have to eat with her, and we have to get along. But my wife is like, no, at all costs. That's how my sister is, at all costs. So adding her to the mix would get really, really dangerous. And it gets really competitive and really fun. I will tell you this, though. Usually for my birthday every year, we have some form of competition. So this year we actually like took a family trip, which is the first we've ever done. But the year before that, we had a kickball game at my house.
Here in the backyard?
No, at my house in California.
Okay.
On our front lawn. And it got competitive. It got chippy, there were choice words, but I love it because that's how I grew up, and that's how. So it kind of took me back to my childhood and kind of put me in like a childlike space. But it got very, very competitive, and kind of to the point where like nobody wins, you kind of have to stop the game. Like, let's stop this game before it really gets crazy. But we've had kickball games, we've had softball games, we've had volleyball games. We literally play like all the other sports that like we aren't professionals at. We do that for someone's birthday or any like a family reunion or something, and every time, 10 out of 10, 100%, it gets wicked. So
you've heard the expression, you won the battle, but you lost the war.
yeah.
You don't have to answer this question, but I'm asking you. Have you ever let Lauren or your sister win the battle so you could win the war?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's why you're married 10 years.
For sure. For sure. I was, if anybody here is married and still in a successful marriage for however long, you know that it's not that big of a deal. Like, it is a big deal to win, and I'm not saying that it's not, but when it's with somebody that you love, and again, you're on the opposite teams, it'll make your life a living hell. And I'm not really with that. Because again, my wife is a 2-time Olympic world champion, gold medal in the World Cup, and a gold medal silver. And she won MVP twice in the NWSL. So she's like, in my eyes, the best soccer player ever, but the most competitive person that I know. And for me to have a happy home, if I need to lose a couple times, I'm cool with that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a wise man.
Hey,
I'm
man,
talking to.
33. You know what I mean? Getting old.
I love it. So, what's your superpower? You know, I think there's plenty of people out there that train hard, that fuel, that sleep right, but they're not going to make it to the NBA.
Yeah.
There's got to be some innate gift that you've been given that's led to your success. Have you thought about what it is that has led to you be so successful?
I mean, just one thing, first and foremost, is God's will. I think that's the biggest thing, and that's not my superpower. That's His. I think for me, trying to be as obedient as possible could be a superpower. It's hard at times because I think that my will is probably more important or different than God's, but sometimes you think that your will is right. But I would say it's God's will. I think one of the things that I feel like I'm good at is bringing people along with me. And that's not just basketball. I think in life too, my wife tells me all the time I'm good at meeting people where they are and kind of just making them feel like really like they're important, like they're somebody, because I do believe that. I believe that everybody is somebody. So on the court, I think the same thing. I think that everybody has a purpose. And on the court, whatever it is, there is no small role. So to be able to kind of put this puzzle piece together, everybody kind of needs to get on the same accord and feel valued. So for me, I think that I try my best, and I've always tried to do that as a point guard. You always have to be able to get your shooters and keep your shooters happy. If your big man's upset, throw it to him in the post a couple times, hit him on the roll. It's always something that I've been taught, but I just think I had it in me. So that's one thing that I would probably say is maybe bringing people together and for a common goal, common cause, and everybody's just finding the success in that.
You know, you've talked about you create harmony at home, and you create harmony on the court, and that's hard to be a culture builder like that.
Yeah, only because at times there are some times where you think like you're doing it wrong, you know, or you're not going hard enough, or you're not doing this, you're not doing that. I think when you go through life and you just see that, like, sometimes there isn't right or wrong. Like, maybe it is a little bit of a gray area. You figure out that guys, kind of how they tick and how they react to things, but maybe it is kind of like the way that they're doing it is right and it is for them. Maybe I need to change a little bit and I need to sit back and look and see what I can tweak. But I think that creating harmony part is more about, like, taking a step back and not just letting it be all about me, you know, which it can get hard. It can get difficult sometimes.
So tell me a story of a time where someone's influenced you to maybe change how you're acting. Like, who's caused you to change your behavior?
Well, my mom.
Right.
I think anybody's mother kind of punches him in the gut one time and gets real with him. I think that a lot of times, especially having the family that I have and being competitive from a young age, a lot of times you want it to be about you. If I can't make a practice because my older brother has practice here or my younger siblings have games or something here, like I also feel slighted, you know? And there are times where your parents have to tell you, like, this isn't, like, it's not about you. For one, representing God. Two, you represent your family. That name on the back of your jersey, yeah, you represent that. And then it's yourself. Like, so even having that numerical whatever of 3, like the last one is you. You're never first or number one. You always have to think of others. So.
But I think that's so countercultural because people look at you, 14 years in the NBA, champion, contract. They must be thinking, man, this guy's maximized his life for himself. But what I hear you just say to me is, no, I've actually put others in front of me, and I've still had success in life.
You know what's fun about success is when you can bring people along with you. When you can share the success with other people, when you can see other people kind of get a chance to taste the success or be happy or just find a little bit of friendship or companionship or whatever it is, it means a lot more. The journey means a lot more when it's with people that you care about and people that you want to see succeed. We talked about it earlier about being lonely in this league, and I feel like a lot of people don't understand how lonely you can get where you're on the road sometimes, 10, 12 days. And yeah, maybe at times you get tired of your teammates. You get tired of the coaching staff and you just want to be by yourself, which is cool because I know it says it somewhere in the Bible, but we're not meant to be alone. We're meant for friendship. We're meant for community.
It's almost like experiencing that amazing thing. The first thing you want to do is share it with somebody.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And if you're by yourself and got no one to share it to, it's just empty.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah. I think that I have a pretty big family, so I've always had somebody that I could share it with. And for the people that don't have anyone, like, shoot, call me. I'll be happy for you. I'm dead serious. I'll be happy for you about any little small win or anything that you think is big. I'll be on your side 100%. But yeah, like you said, man, life is meant to be shared with like that. Where, oh man, I don't know. I just hit a golf ball with a 5-year-old golf club and I almost hit you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's exciting, or that can be. And for me to share that with other people, man, it's cool.
Yeah, and it goes. There's a great expression that says, "The best criticism of the bad is a practice of the better." And so when I think about you creating harmony in your family and on your team and being a culture carrier, if you were to be the guy browbeating people with words, that would create disharmony. But I think if you go out there and you just, by example, try to be your best self, that creates relationship. You're drawing people to you.
It creates relationship. And also, it creates relationship in this bond that, like, I'm not better than anyone else. Like, I'm here for a purpose, I'm here for a reason, and so are you. And it's not that my purpose or reason is better than yours, but we can coexist and we can harmonize in that and be great together. But like you said, man, like, words mean a lot. I think everybody's kind of been through it at some form, if it's bullying, criticism, having a coach who didn't really like you that much, having teammates who, let's say you have a bad game, and you have teammates that are just on you. It's like, well, how does that affect you for the next game? How does that affect you for the rest of the season? Like, I want my teammates to be at their best every single game, and I have to know that, like, words hurt. Like, your word choice means a lot. So, kind of like what you said, just having that type of awareness to be conscious of what you're saying and what you're speaking life into and how you're saying it is huge. And sometimes, bro, you don't really think that it's that big of a deal, like how you talk to people. Or even, like, if you're blunt or brutally honest, like, not everybody reacts to that in the best way. So
it's almost like a myth, constructive criticism, because
Yeah.
all we hear is criticism.
Yeah.
And that's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
Who's that person in your life that can actually use words that speaks truth into your life without you becoming defensive or like unsure of the relationship? Because a lot of times my response is,
That's great. That's great. My wife. I've known since the beginning that she was so caring and would be there for anyone. And I would see it with their friends, I'd see it with their teammates where they would just have like heart-to-hearts. And I remember in the beginning, I'm like, you're always having heart-to-hearts with people. Like they pour their heart out to you, who do. But she was also a very blunt speaker, very straightforward. So with her, I always knew like I can be straightforward with her and I can be direct, and it's not a jab or like a knock to her. That's just how she understood it and that's how she took it. So for me, and now that I'm still in my basketball career and she's still like kind of following me and just being a professional, just being the greatness that she is, she criticizes me at halftime. I'll get text messages at halftime. Oh yeah.
That doesn't take your head out of the game?
No, it locks me in because I know like she's not playing games. She's like she wants the best for me. And even though she'd be like, hey, like stop playing around. Or like, hey, what are you doing? Are you bored? Do you want to go home? Like like it'd be like, well, you know what?
This isn't
You're
every
right.
halftime.
You're right. No, not every halftime. But there are some where it's like, all right, get your stuff together, bruh.
So tell me about a time where she actually did speak words of wisdom into you bluntly, like that made a big difference. Tell me about a specific time. She really got you back on track.
There was a time during the finals where I was extremely tired because, I mean, it's the finals. The road to the finals are rough and hard and difficult, but she spoke so much, and I don't think I ever told her this, but she spoke so much encouragement into me that it made me want to go out there and be even better. Like, I could have, obviously this is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, playing in the finals and
Hopefully
twice. But having the chance just to be able to win a ring is hard. It took me 12 years. It took me 12 years to just get to the finals. Before that, I'd only been to the second round. I'd never been to the conference finals, none of that. Second round, Golden State, we got smoked. 5-1 or 4-1, we got smoked. So we're in the finals, and I know she knows I'm tired mentally and physically, but she told me, and I guess this was maybe more of in a nicer way, but like, we will win if I play better. Like that, no pressure to you, but we have the best chance of winning if I play better. And it was like, she made me feel like I was the glue to the team. Like the reason why we were like this and the reason why we can get to the top and where we want to go is because just my personality, but my play. And she made me feel like I was like a top player, like I was one of the best players. So that was one of the times, like at the peak or pinnacle, excuse me, of my career that meant a lot to me. And then last year, because last year I was an All-Star for the second time in my career. Funny because it was 10 years in between. And she literally told me before the season, she's like, I want you to kill. Like, I want you to kill, and I want you to be an All-Star. And then next thing you know, my second All-Star appearance.
So she's putting this mantle of responsibility on you at key times in your life without burdening you and without telling you how to do it.
Yeah.
She's just focusing you on an objective.
Yeah.
That's wisdom.
That's what makes her the best.
Tell me this, is Jrue Holiday a different person because you got a ring?
A little. I would say that I'm a little different. I'm a champion. And then a couple weeks later, I went and won a gold medal. So that was just exciting. It was exhausting, but exciting. But So in that way of just me having a little bit of hardware now, yeah, I'm different, but my pillars, the reasons why I am who I am are the same, and they've always been the same. So in that way, I haven't changed. I still feel like I'm just as competitive, just as compassionate as I was before. I love the game of basketball just as much, and maybe even more now than I did before. There were definitely times where you kind of lose the love for the game because of the business side of basketball. And that kind of gets hurtful because when I started playing basketball, it was for the love of it. It was for fun. And then once the business side comes out of it, it's kind of like, it kind of taints it. It kind of takes that purity away from it. But I got back on track and fell in love with the game of basketball again, and it's been good to me.
People talk about our resume characteristics: gold medalist, champion, and then that's who we are, right? That's what we've accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
And then they talk about the eulogy characteristics. Oh, he was so kind, so generous, created harmony. And it sounds to me like you're saying it's the eulogy characteristics that really are motivating you.
Yeah, bro. The rings and stuff are cool, and believe me, I do not take them for granted at all. I love it, and I love that I could always say that, like, I have a ring or I have a gold medal or something like that. But I think that at the end of the day, when people get maybe to speak to my wife or my kids or my family, they're like, man, we loved your dad as a basketball player, but he was an even better person. To me, that means a lot more because I know a lot of great basketball players that weren't that good at people, like, and again, maybe that's what took them to the highest and maybe that's what they felt they had to be. But so many times where it's like, maybe just a smile or how you doing today or whatever it is goes a long way. And I think I've just realized that because of the challenges that I've had in basketball, like, it isn't always about the winning. Like, my teammate next to me could be going through something, or I could be going through something, and in this locker room where it's like this brotherhood, it's where you get a time to, I mean, for one, you're doing what you love, and you get a chance to kind of show that to the world, but to have this kind of camaraderie in the locker room and be able to talk through stuff with people, it helps me, but it helps everyone just be able to be better people, to get through things, loneliness or struggling with whatever it may be. I feel like basketball has taught me a lot about just not only myself, but about other people too.
You've mentioned a couple times the relationship in the community, in the team, in the family, how that's what sustains you and motivates you, and it's community at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I think you've been so lucky to have a family that modeled it, and to be hitched to a woman for 10 years that believes in it.
Yeah.
And so for, I think, the people out there who maybe have a broken family or don't have that community, what's the advice? They got dreams just like you and I.
Yeah. I think that you can find it. I think that you can always find community. You can find your groove. I think sometimes we do put up these walls where we're either like too cool or we've been hurt by someone and we put that wall up because we don't want to get hurt again. But at the end of the day, we're human and we're going to get hurt by people, and sometimes it hurts even worse when it's the people that you love. But for me, that's something that my faith showed me, was that Jesus Christ was hurt by the people that he loved, the people that he ministered to, people that he thought were his best friends, and he still loved them anyway. He still loved them anyway and wanted the best for him. So I think for the ones out there that maybe might be feeling lonely or feeling like they don't have community, you can find it. There's people out there that want the best for you and want to see you succeed. But just don't close off. Don't harden your heart. I think having a soft heart and being able to kind of open your mind to the possibilities of other people and other people that like genuinely care for you. I know sometimes it gets hard because you think people are playing games and doing whatever, but there are people out there who have genuine care for for other people and how they feel. So
And I think it's fair to say that all of us are going through, no matter what it looks like on the outside,
Yeah.
all of us are carrying something hard right now.
yeah,
You know, you're starting the season here in a couple weeks.
yeah.
Your family's been through a lot. Like, what's hard about life for you right now going into this 15th season?
I would probably say the hardest part of life right now for me, and maybe doesn't seem hard for other people, but because it's important to me, is schedule. During the summertime, I get to do everything with my kids. I literally take them everywhere. If I go somewhere, they go with me. If they're not going, I'm not going. So for me, the schedule, kids starting school, and then once I start really getting to the swing of things and traveling, it kind of starts this relationship of like, there's my family life, and then there's like my career, where on the road, I don't necessarily get to share that with them because they have a life here. They have daily routines and daily things here that I'm separated from at the time, but it gets tough for me because I want to be so involved in that. I grew up with, there's 4 of us. So, I mean, there were 6, including my parents, there's 6 of us. So every day we were together. Every day it was something. Like, yeah, maybe here and there we'd spend the night at a friend's house, but every day I had that family dynamic, and that's always been a goal of mine and something that I wanted. So that's something that's very important to me.
You got 2 years old, 7 years old.
Yeah,
We'll end it on this.
yeah.
Best part about being a dad?
Man. You know, I think being able to see how much kids have like this purity or this childlike mentality where sometimes as you get older, you think you have to like grow up and be an adult. You hang on to things longer. You hold a grudge. Like, my kids never hold a grudge. Sometimes I yell at them or I get on them, and for that 2 seconds or whatever, they'd be like all sad or whatever. Next thing you know, they want to come jump on top of me, or they want to go they want to go play or do something like that. Oh, Daddy, let's go here. Oh, Daddy, can I have candy? Like, it's always this childlike purity that I love about them. There's a lot of times when you become an adult, you get really serious. And, I mean, understandably, there's a lot of stressors, there's a lot of things in life that sometimes don't go your way or whatever it may be. But sometimes having that same type of mentality as a child or as a kid is like, next play or the bounce back is quick. That's definitely one thing that I admire about them. Another thing is, my kids love people, and they love to be around people. And I mean, you saw them running around, jump on the type of DJ. Like, I think being able to see that is heartwarming because I feel like that's what me and my wife try to instill in our kids is to love people anyway, no matter what situation they're in, no matter how high or low they are. Just love on them as much as possible.
That we can learn from our children, and then we can see our children loving others.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
what a pleasure talking to you, Jrue.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.